Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
Hello everyone, and today we're connecting from London to United States, North Carolina. I think that Susie's in the mountains and we keep inspiring entrepreneurs to achieve the first billion in sales. So Susie, can you please introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me, Harry. My name
Pleasure.
is Susie Deville, and I am the founder and CEO of the Innovation and Creativity Institute. And I help entrepreneurs and visionary leaders connect with their innate creativity and unlock their entrepreneurial potential.
That sounds fantastic. But how important is actually creativity and innovation to entrepreneur? Because people are thinking these words and they think, oh, this is too technical, this look like a book, like a PhD. Do I really need innovation, creativity if I'm an entrepreneur? Oh, I don't need any of this. What are you going to tell to these people? What can you tell to these people that are thinking like this?
I would say I totally understand. I used to be you. and and then I would say the most surprising thing that I learned happened during one of the darkest times of my life.
Oh, wow.
And what I learned when the markets crashed in 2008 and everything in my life imploded, that in order for me to extricate myself from the messes I was in, I was going to have to reset how I did everything.
Wow.
And I didn't know initially what that meant, but I knew I had to change everything. And I had been studying and researching innovation and creativity for up to that point about 3 years. Now it's well over 17 years. But at that point,
Wow.
had already begun exploring through my master's degree all kinds of interesting research on innovation and creativity. So it was kind of already in my brain. But then I started to experiment with actually taking classes and really leaning into this idea that I could be an artist, even though this was I'm the original stick figure gal, couldn't create, art of any kind. And I leaned into that more and more. And as I did, I discovered that my life got better, that my business got better,
Mm-hmm.
that I was able to access flow and ease in my work. And probably the most surprising thing of all was that as I spent time creating things, just sort of accessed this part of my brain and my intuition that was not available to me during other times. And I could start to envision and problem solve and boldly take action to create an entirely new way of working that was much more lucrative than anything I had done prior to.
100% fantastic. I understand what you sharing with us because in the end of the day, right, business is about innovation and creativity, and I think that as entrepreneurs we need to be ahead in terms of innovation or creativity because otherwise you see stories that like some companies that they haven't been able to catch up with the innovation creativity and they don't exist anymore, right? They have been
Well,
wiped out of the face of the earth.
yes, certainly. And also, we are in a time that is changing so rapidly and time is speeding up
So dynamic.
and and we're just sort of struggling to keep up, and it's easy to lose your footing because we're getting bombarded by all kinds of messages from social media, from cultural lore, from people who are quote unquote business experts. And
Mhm.
we can get lost in the shuffle and forget what our strengths are, what our passions are, because we're trying to chase something that's outside of us.
Mm-hmm.
And when we focus on innovation and creativity and we actually immerse ourselves in making something, again, I was completely in the other camp years
Mm-hmm.
ago. When we immerse ourselves there, there is something that we access that is like this portal to the best version of ourselves and all of our superpowers. And I know it sounds like magical thinking, and I am the sort of classic person who was the biggest subscriber to hustle and you can sleep when you're dead and I need to work harder, I need to work more, I need to have more discipline. And all of that was just cutting me off, not only from my happiness and my health, but also
Yeah,
my
draining your
wealth.
energy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like yeah, at the end of the day, this is we all have to design how we want to live our life, and creativity and innovation, because let's face it, even the product that you sell today, you will have to innovate something and create something on that product to keep selling in the next 5 years. I don't remember
Or
any
5
product
days.
service that we have. I don't remember any product service that we have that we don't need to innovate something in the after 3 years to do an improvement, to remove what is not working, to because otherwise uh, the um, the innovation will come, and you can be easily out of business, right? Even our first business where we managed to sell over 5 million, right, was our first the first business that had the property business, right? In the end, we have to de-escalate it because Airbnb came with better technology, with better solution that we were providing. All from day and night, you are out of out of business, and this is when it hit me when I realized that when people tell me, Harry, why you not doing the properties anymore? I say, well, I think that I didn't put too much attention to innovation. I put attention in the profit, in running the operation, in the cash flow and everything, and I was not aware that things don't stay forever. You have
Yes.
to keep innovating in the business. You need to keep improving. So now, with every time that we launch a new business, a new product, a new service, or we invest in any company, we take a deep, serious, deep look at it, because we have our in our own experience, yeah. And it was company was selling millions. We sold over 5 million doing this. So we are aware how important is this. So how you find out yourself happened probably the same path, like you have a business and you were working like mad, like crazy, doing everything yourself. You don't have time for your life, you don't have head, you don't have everything, and you say, well, I have to then do an innovation. I think that the first innovation in my company, actually, they start to be done by accident, right?
Mm-hmm.
The real estate office, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I didn't want to go to the office. The employee doesn't want to go to the office. Nobody want to go to the office. And I'm thinking myself, if nobody want to go to the office, what the office in the first place? What, I'm paying for something that you don't want to go, I don't want to go, nobody want to go. So you know what? Let's get rid of the office. Yes, and we are all happy. And it was a great innovation. We
Yes.
managed to work the whole operation online, to the point that all our business have been running the same structure. And so when COVID came, everybody in my office, that we employ people from abroad, from different countries, they all work online for years. So COVID came and everybody's looking at each other and said, well, for us this doesn't make any difference, because we've been working remotely with our office for so many years and doing the same thing, that it didn't actually change the dynamic that we were doing things at all, because we've been operating like this for a long time, which it was very productive. And you can have better talent because you can bring them from abroad, not only from your own country, and they don't want to be in the office. I don't want to be in the office either, so let's don't do it, and things like that. So when was your story? What was this bottom moment that hit, that you said, oh, I had to rethink everything I'm gonna do again. I need to redesign everything because this is not working for me. What happened?
Yeah, so I was in also in the world of real estate. So I've been a
Ah,
licensed real
wow,
estate
welcome.
broker since 2001.
Okay.
And at the time, I was married to a gentleman who was a contractor, and
Hmm.
2008 came, and the two main industries that were decimated by the crash of the markets were construction and real estate.
Yeah, yeah.
So we got
Specifically.
the sort of double whammy to the household, and it sort of ignited this 5-year period for me where all of my finances just went to nil. My health suffered. We ended up getting divorced. And everything that I had in my life up to that point sort of became unrecognizable to me. But I am so grateful for this huge shaking up of my life, because without it, I wouldn't have the Innovation and Creativity Institute to the degree that I do today.
Wow,
I
Martin.
wouldn't have written a book. I wouldn't have restarted my travel overseas. I wouldn't have accessed my innate creativity and begun to pursue being a real accomplished artist. I wouldn't be talking to you. So all of these things would not be in my life. I
Definitely.
would I would still be this person who was working 80 hours a week selling real estate,
Mhm.
making great money,
Yeah.
um, and enjoying it, but I would not have discovered and sort of excavated
The full potential.
through a trial by fire the core of who I truly am, and brought all of that back into my life and into my work.
Yeah, I think that, as an entrepreneur, we have this DNA, this spirit within us, right? That
Mhm.
we're gonna be entrepreneurs, and we decided to go to this path. However, sometimes, right? To give you an example, I had the dream once that I want to have a restaurant. Yeah, I
Mhm.
don't know where this is coming from, but I really wanted to have a restaurant. and and then I did have my restaurant, and I lost 200,000 pounds in my dream. Yeah, so now I already fulfilled that, and that restaurant realized what I don't want. And it's not that I don't want to go into a restaurant business anymore, but I didn't want anymore for my life to be Monday to Sunday in that place that that needs a lot of supervision,
Mm.
that is so sensitive to clients, that it was like the best master in business and administration. I always said to my clients, or the people that want to study business and administration here in London, it costs from 60,000 to who knows how much per year. I said, look, if you want to do a proper MBA, open a restaurant in London, you will see how quickly you want to learn about business. Because it's a business that you need a lot of skills. The clients, the chef, the ways, the thing, the whole operation is a lot of skills. Yeah. Sometimes I
Mm.
ask the restaurant owner, look, if you manage to make a restaurant successful, what are you doing restaurant? In the first place, it's a nightmare, in my opinion, right? So the whole point is that you realize what you don't want, and you can
Mhm.
always reinvent yourself. I think that you have your spirit of entrepreneur, and you came back, but a new you came back, right? So that experience probably share with you. You realize what you don't want. So what was that thing that you don't want anymore? That you actually start to work in the creativity, you design this new business that is keeping you happy. I can tell, you very proud of what you're doing. You know the value that you add into a marketplace. So what was what you didn't want anymore? Tell us.
So I was under the impression
Hmm.
from my experience in the Western world, and a young woman who was had grown up in the southern part of the United States, that in order for me to have value, I needed to achieve something, that it didn't just come baked in, that it wasn't innate or intrinsic to me, that I had to go earn that worth, that I didn't
This
have.
approval from the people around you, from the society, right?
Correct. That was a message that somehow I absorbed as a young person. And so I took that faulty programming, and when I became an entrepreneur, it became something that was woven in with the cultural lore that in order for us to have the success and freedom that we crave, we have to work ourselves into oblivion. So that was perfect for me because I thought, oh, that must be absolutely true. I have to work to have value, and I have to work to be successful. And of course, you have to work, but to the degree that I was working. So when the world turned upside down for me, I recognized that I didn't recognize myself anymore. That the person who I was in my teens, 20s, and 30s, because this happened when I was in my 40s, she was a very faint outline. The person who I was in my 40s was a very faint outline of who I truly was. And I knew that I had to find her and reclaim her and bring her back front and center. And I wasn't, again, quite sure how I was going to do that initially. I just knew in my gut that in order for me to find peace and freedom and happiness and wealth and success, that I was going to have to really go back to the beginning and get rid of the stuff that wasn't my true authentic self and remember who I truly was and bring all of that forward.
Wow, that's very, very inspiring. And I think that, it hit you that you're working so hard, and you think that you're making everybody happy, and everybody say, wow, she's very successful, look. But you're working hard and hard and seeking approval from everybody around you, from, I don't know, friends, family, husband, whatever, whoever, and you are in this rat race. And then all of a sudden a credit crunch come, and you asking yourself, what is this hard work that I have done for? I'm back to
Yes.
zero. So
Yes.
working hard, it was not a solution, because you did
Correct.
work really hard, and now you are in zero.
I
So,
had negative
oh
250,000.
my God, yeah, tell me about when the property go negative equity and so on. What a headache. Yeah, tell me about it, right? And then you are like, what happened? Because again, the marketplace changed, and innovation come and can work you out, and you have to come back. You have to accept that, you have to reprogram yourself. You need to come back in a different form as an entrepreneur, and you need to now be more cautious that, even if you work hard, if you don't strategically organize the business that you want to be in, the product that you serve, and you don't innovate enough, and you are observing your environment, what's happening, maybe the whole hard work can be zero or worse, negative, right?
Yes. Yes. Well, and I decided that I was going to pursue two parallel paths. I was in my room during the summer of 2010, and I was about to literally put my head back to take a nap, and an idea came to me. I was in this world that interestingly, that you access when you are creating something, when
Yeah.
you're making something, this sort of liminal space between being awake and being asleep. And here comes the idea. Okay, I'll start a real estate office on 4th Street here in my hometown of Highlands. And I will create something that is like a European business model
Mm-hmm.
where the office is tiny and we use
Yeah.
the town as the office.
Yeah.
But it will be beautiful. And I have, of course, no money. So I have no idea yet how I'm going to make that happen. But I knew that if I positioned myself with the other businesses around that location, I could piggyback market without spending money. My
Yeah.
presence would be enough to pull people to me.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had the best physical location that was unique and special, and the best online location that was unique and special, and that if everything I did was lean and very focused and very agile
You're
and
gonna
very
be fine.
responsive, that I could not only survive, but I could thrive.
Wow.
So I created an office.
You came back in a
Now,
different form. Yeah.
I took a space that was totally unattractive and closed off to this place on 4th Street. And I renovated it, and it became like one of the most adored and loved and admired spaces in
Wow.
town because it had such an unusual look.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
Beautiful. And I brought people in by the dozens who were just interested in knowing what this building was.
What was going on? Yeah.
Yes. And then once I got them in, then I could talk to them about buying some real estate.
Yeah.
So I was very, very successful there. We were still in the Great Recession when I opened, but I
I
could see
still, wow.
in the crystal ball the market was shifting. And I knew that if I got very strategic and very focused, that I could work with investors who were coming into our market wanting to get bargains. I could speak their language, and I was a great agent for them because I could scout out good buys that I knew they
They
would
get a
win
good
on.
return and so on. And
Exactly.
it was the best time to buy, actually.
It was
Especially in
a
US, the best time
tremendous.
ever to buy. It
If
was that
people
time.
had courage and cash, they were going to win.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And so I did real estate and I was very successful. And I then started this parallel work with the Innovation and Creativity Institute. And I was bouncing kind of back and forth between the two. And I still am, as a matter of fact, but I'm doing
Yeah,
the
me
innovation
too.
and creativity
Everyone,
work.
you should be.
Um,
People should be crazy. They leave real estate.
oh,
It's
it's,
always.
I
I still
love
invest
doing.
in real estate. We love it. Yeah,
It's so fun. I love negotiating. I
yeah,
love making a great deal. I love dazzling my clients and helping them find something amazing.
yeah.
So that is such a beautiful path for anyone. I highly
And also,
recommend real
we
estate.
love the income they're giving us every month
Oh,
after we pay
totally.
the mortgage and we get the rent. Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's like a salary without doing nothing, right?
Yes,
Is
absolutely.
it's so beautiful, right? I think that yeah, we had done a lot in real estate. Like I said, we sold over 5 million doing our operation, and regardless that we de-escalate the business that we have at the moment, we were doing property maintenance. So we have a large operation with
Mm.
hundreds of tenants and people selling the rooms and a big operation, right? But we innovated, right? We de-escalate this one that was giving us a lot of work and a lot of the operation was really hard, and with Airbnb our margins start to become lower, and so then we reinvent ourselves, and what we do now, we invest in the properties, and we know how much money we're gonna make. Even before, only by knowing what is it, because we already run this area here in London for so many years, so we know from our palm the hand how much these properties each will produce, whatever they are in that area, because we done it for so many years, right? So that knowledge stayed, And if you innovate, you can come back in a different form. And now our real estate business doesn't give us so much work. What it gives us is, some some good some income when after people pay the rent, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah,
With
certainly.
very very little. So we repackage the whole thing, and so maybe this is what you find out when you actually reinvent yourself and came back and refurbish this property and make it amazing. A lot of people start to come in. Maybe this is what you decide, when you discover actually the huge power of innovation, of repackaging, that come back in a different form when you innovate and you are creative with the knowledge that you already have. And probably everybody else there, they're working hard. Some of them can have a business and they could be doing financially amazing, but they are doing something that they don't really love because they don't want to maybe to take this space to take innovation seriously. And maybe with they or what they already know, if they can innovate and repackage, probably they can make the same money or more, but working even less and do things that they love, right?
Absolutely. And I'll tell you something that I believe is the secret sauce to success that the vast majority of us overlook is the connection between our success and how connected we are to our authentic self. So let me explain what that means. Just in the example that you just gave, this person's working hard, they're successful, but there's something off. They're working hard, they're making money, and something is not right.
Yeah, they don't have time to see their family. They're getting divorced. They have diabetes because they eating too much candy because of the stress. They smoking, right? And you name it. I tell you, we speak with hundreds and hundreds of entrepreneurs very successful. So we have seen all. So
Yes.
yeah.
Or let's say that there's just this gnawing knowing in us that we know life was meant to be more. And somehow we forgot what brings us alive because we
You
just
lost
got
in the process.
lost.
Yeah.
It just got lost. And so when you reclaim that, and that's actually the whole purpose of my book, and I have exercises for anyone who's listening to this who's lost and or feeling like the color in life has just turned gray. You can take yourself back to yourself. And it's not hard to do. It does take some time. But once you reconnect with that fire, with this rapturous sense of being alive, as Joseph Campbell would say, and you connect profoundly to the authentic, aligned version of yourself, what happens is that you start to attract clients and business from like-minded souls, because there is this ability for us to feel and see and hear and smell a person who is electric with life force and happiness. And we want to do business with those people because we want to be a part of a shared experience of creating something that's exciting. We want to be on an adventure together, and we want to feel what it feels like to sort of partner with, even if it's a transaction that's short. We want to touch that electricity. And so we can market ourselves into oblivion. We can do funnels. We can spend a fortune on advertising. But if this person who is the core of the enterprise is not happy, is not in touch with the electricity of your passion, then we're leaving tons of business on the table because no one can really truly feel and hear and connect with us, because we haven't connected with ourselves. We got with that person we lost touch with. So for anyone who is struggling with being heard in the marketplace and connecting with your ideal clients, come home to yourself first. And from there, you're going to notice that you start to lean into work and marketing and language that is completely in alignment with you, so that when you speak it or you write it, it lands and connects and converts with the people who you most want to reach.
Wow, that was beautiful, Susie. So, Susie, in your opinion, what the first step that entrepreneurs should be doing out there to make the first million?
So the first thing is that it's important for us to get very clear on what kind of life we want. So
Beautiful.
we tend to get that backwards.
Yeah.
We tend to believe everybody else's version of what success and freedom looks like, but we should start with ourselves only. So I recommend going off by yourself, even if it's just a day at a coffee shop with you, your pen, your journal, and get very clear on what your ideal day looks like. What are you doing? Who are you with? And that will reveal something to you. Typically, what I see my clients do is just kind of had this moment of awakening that what they're really after is a very simple life with moments of, great epic moments of adventure too. But I hear people say, I want to be able to get up when I want. I want to go out to my deck and drink my coffee. I want my dog at my feet. I want to be able to do XYZ. I want to work so and so number of hours a day. I want to be able to travel. I want to have this kind of epic experience. But mostly, it's all about agency over their life. It's small, simple moments. It's kind of everyday moments that are important to them, with the freedom to choose the adventurous, more epic moments and pursue those as well. So when you're starting, before you start to design the business, design the life at your optimal fantasy level. What does it look like? Because like the restaurant business, for example, if we want long stretches of time to be able to go on holiday and to go do learning adventures in France, for example, the restaurant business is typically not going to be in alignment with that dream.
Yeah.
Unless you have an incredible powerhouse of a support staff, right? So start with what you want first, and then make sure the business is in alignment with the optimal life. Okay. So that's the first thing. The next is, I think it's very important that we get very clear on what our strengths are. And there are certain kinds of assessments. My favorite is Kolbe, Kolbe. And you can take that through kolbe.com. You can take this test and you're going to learn how you're wired to take action in the world. It is liberation on steroids. Once you learn, you basically have the skeleton key for how you operate best. And what you can start to do then is lean more into how you're wired, and then hire for how you're not wired. So you give the stuff to the people who support you that are not your superpowers. You keep your superpowers and amp those way up, and you delegate the rest. And don't try to remediate weaknesses. Just stay in your strengths. That, to me, that one tip took me from 80 hours to working 4 days a week. And within 6 months, I quadrupled my income.
Wow.
That's how powerful that knowledge is. If you learn it and
Right.
you leverage it, it can change your life and your business that fast.
Agree 100%.
So next is everybody who is in the game of entrepreneurship needs to really understand what the path to being a very successful salesperson actually means. So there's lots of lore that, sales is icky or pushy or obnoxious or whatever it is. Embrace being a magnificent salesperson and become more and more skilled at how to be excellent at it. And not from the position of getting great at pushing what you're doing onto a prospect, but great at being an empathic listener, great at becoming a trusted advisor, great at absolutely knowing how to cure the challenges that your ideal clients have, and really leaning into the fun of great sales. It is truly, just as we were talking before, negotiating for me in a real estate transaction and helping my client get what he or she wants is absolutely great fun. And of course,
Yeah,
there's a big check at the end,
of
but
course.
they can
That
tell
motivates you a lot also.
that I'm in it for them
Yeah, exactly.
first,
Exactly.
right? And they know at the end, they're going to have exactly what they want. They're going to have an amazing experience and have an investment and a place that they enjoy.
Hmm.
And of course, they're going to tell all of their friends. And
Of course.
so, if we can lean into being an amazing human with amazing skills, then the business will come to us. I mean, I don't even advertise real estate anymore. I just get business all the time.
All the time, yeah. By
So,
reference,
and I
yeah.
pick and choose with whom I want to work.
Yeah.
And it's because I have taken such great care of people that they always send their friends and their family and
Yeah.
colleagues and associates to me.
When they
Um,
call,
so so learning how to sell well, how to sell from a place of love and care and excellence, I think is crucial to your first million. The next thing is, and tapping into your creativity will help you with this too. And that is take bold action. It
mm,
is very easy to fool yourself with busy work, thinking that you're doing something that's building your business. And most of the time, we're kind of wasting time. Taking bold action is something that ignites a domino effect in the marketplace. So, your dreams, your vision, the things that you know are going to move the needle for you and your business, you can take bold action on those things. And there is this immediate sort of ripple effect because you build momentum, you have shown up for yourself, you will continue to stay in momentum, you will take the next bold action, you will take the next step. You won't fall into this weird place where fear and overwhelm keep you stuck.
mm,
And so, and especially early on, before we've had this beautiful sort of repeat business and this evidence that we really have what it takes, taking bold action will help pull you out. Even if you say, but Susie, hi, I'm just so new at this. I don't even know how to do some of these things. I will tell you, as odd as it sounds, if you take bold action, you're going to learn how to do it. I will jump and then sort of research on the way down before I hit the water.
mm.
That's how you learn how to do what you don't know how to do yet. That's how you learn what works and what doesn't work. And just if you step into a place where you make a mistake or something doesn't work out, fine, that's just feedback. That's just okay, that's contrast. I won't do that again. So taking action and not beating yourself up when things don't go the way you planned or something doesn't go as well as you had hoped. The last thing, this is something that I think is crucial for anyone, but especially the entrepreneur. That is protecting your energy. And here's all the ways that we don't typically protect energy. We don't have boundaries. Or if we do have boundaries, we don't hold the boundary. We don't take good care of our health. We don't have habits that promote our well-being. We will stay in a toxic client relationship that fills us with dread and stress and anxiety. Meanwhile, if we had parted ways in a kind and gentle way with a party that doesn't fit for us, we've lost the ability to work with those that are our ideal folks. I have had situations where I've had nightmares about clients. And I just thought, I'm just going to stick it out. I'm just going to keep working. I'm going to try to figure this out. And then when I finally learned to stop doing that, the second I would have the conversation, I don't think we're a fit, but let me connect you with someone else so that you're taken care of. The second I do that, here come 2 emails, 5 calls. It's just crazy how it works. It is scary and it is hard, especially when we are struggling at the beginning, trying to get traction. But if you can put your energy first, forget trying to manage your time, manage your energy, and do tasks that are the hardest for you when you have your highest energy, and create your boundaries and hold them as best as you possibly can. Entrepreneurship
Even if you're starting,
even if what?
Yeah, exactly. When you're starting, even when you're starting and do that, I agree.
Yes. Yes. Even when you're starting, I mean, it's even more important when you're just starting. Because here's the thing, if you create a habit out of protecting your energy from the beginning, because real estate and because any entrepreneurship game is a long game, it is not a sprint, it is a marathon. So if you can build into your habits, I'm going to protect my energy, I'm going to take care of myself from the beginning, then you're going to have the staying power, whether the market is up, down, sideways, unrecognizable, whatever it is, you're going to have that ability to stay focused, to stay in flow and ease, to enjoy your life, and to attract wealth.
And also, like you say, at the beginning, when you need traction, and you started small, right? You are more likely to have these clients. The reason that you're small, right? You end up to having those clients that nobody wants, right? And
Right.
they end
Oh,
up
that's
with
so true.
you. Nobody else want them,
Right.
and now you are with that person taking all your energy, taking all your time, driving you crazy, squeezing you to the last penny, don't give any room for you to make any profit, and then you have 80% of your time dedicated to these clients, and then you only have 20% of your time to dedicate to the good client. Because
Correct.
you have that there. And again, we saw in our business, people that we coach, the nightmares, they have nightmares, they have setbacks, they get depressed. because of the clients, right? Because how the client treat them and what the client
Yes.
told them, and they can go into your head, and the people. And I'm like, guys, you run a business. If you get a client get into your head, you dead
Oh,
before arrival. Yeah,
it's so,
this is
it's
what's
terrible.
going on
It
here.
is such
But
a
it
terrible
happened. The
feeling.
truth is that happened to every startup out there.
It happens to everybody. And
To
I want
everybody has a startup there
I
because
mean,
it's
it is because we're driven to provide great service.
exactly. That's why
It's
you
in our
started the business
DNA.
in the first place, right?
We're just so passionate about helping our clients win. And if they're not working with us, and if they're just not nice,
Condition. Yeah.
woo, I mean,
Or
it
they
is
don't appreciate
tricky.
your value or your
Oh, that's true
time.
too.
Or your
But I will
time, and what
tell
are you
you,
doing for them? And they don't care about anything. They only care about them, the result. And they don't care about your time. They don't care if they call you at 1 a.m. If they have an
ah,
issue, they can
terrible.
drive you crazy. And then when you have too many real estate, we have big operation. We have so many clients. I remember at some point everybody, all the client was saying, "No, I want to speak with Harry." I said, "Well, you cannot speak with Harry because you have, if all of you want to speak with Harry, you have so many. Harry cannot do anything in
Right.
the day, only speaking with you guys because you
Yes.
have so many. You
Yes.
cannot speak with Harry. Harry cannot speak with you. You need to email. You need to speak with the manager. You need to sort. I cannot speak with them. I was telling to my manager, remember, I can't speak with them. I would love to, but I can't. I'm only one person. There are hundreds.
Yes. Yes.
And
Well, here's a visual for anybody who is trying to figure out how to do this. Going back to protecting your energy. I love the
mhm,
image
mhm,
of digging a moat. So let's say you have your castle, right? And you dig a moat all the way around it, and then you put sharks in it. Okay. It should be a little tricky to get to work with you. Now, I know that is counterintuitive, but here's what I mean by that. There should be some filters between the market and you. And you get to design those filters however you want, whatever is your best client profile. You get to put those filters between the marketplace and you. And when you get really clear, here's the great part about it. This is the best news ever. When you get really clear
they cut the
about who
shop.
you want to work with, the vast majority of those mean people who are never going to provide you with, any kind of margin on your deal, whatever it is,
Mhm,
they'll
and
self-select
consumer.
out.
Yeah, exactly.
They won't even come near you.
Mhm.
The better you get at being very clear, this is a hell yes, this is a hell no. And if you know exactly who you really love to help and who will not be a
You have
match for
clarity
you,
on that, then
they will tend to not swim up to the castle.
that's fantastic. And on that, that's amazing. And on that note, thank you so much, Susie, for your time.
Thank you.
So, if somebody need help with creativity, to the vision, to repackage, how they can find you?
My website is the best way to find me, and that's innovationandcreativityinstitute.com. And if you go to my site, you will see I have a free toolkit for entrepreneurs, and that will just pop up. And that will get you all kinds of wonderful tools to get you started. That has also the introduction and the first chapter of my book. That's an excerpt, so that's free as well. That'll give you a sort of a taste of what my book, Buoyant, is all about. But it's really written for any entrepreneur, any creator, any leader who is wanting to reconnect with their true self and live a life of success and freedom, and do it through a path that's much easier than the one that we tend to think is the only path, which is through sort of discipline, pushing ourselves more and working harder.
That's fantastic, Susie. Thank you so much, and see you. Thank you so much for your time, for your valuable content, and for the tip for all our entrepreneurs out there. And for you guys trying to start your first business and break this wall to achieve the 0 to 1, your first million in sales. Remember, creativity, package yourself. If something went wrong, repackage yourself, because you can come back in a different form, more effective, more creative, where you actually can run a business and have the life you want. That's what Susie was sharing with us today. So thank you so much, Susie, and see you
Thank you.
guys in our next edition of the podcast, Unstoppable. Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.